Hi everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Epilogue Part 4. So there's not many characters we haven't spoken to now. We've still got Atten left and we've still got the Handmaiden left. I suspect we've heard all of Atten's before in the main game, but then we'd had most of T3's and most of Krea's before, so it's not the end of the world repeating it. You can always skip this video if you don't feel like it. I mean, you're going to have to be pretty hardcore to be watching these epilogues anyway. So I'm going to have to load up a different save for the Handmaiden because she hates me and won't talk to me because I slept with Thesis. But we can go talk to Atten, see if he has anything fun to say. I think we heard most of his story. He's trained in the Achani fighting, we learned that. I can't remember much else about his story.
I heard you making friends with the bounty hunter. I don't blame you. She's a scrapper. You don't survive on Nar Shaddaa for very long if you aren't. I've known people like her, maybe without the rocket launchers, but sort of the same. Maybe without the plunging neckline and the boots. I wouldn't let anything she says bother you. It's a wonder you cracked her attitude at all. She's cold as the ship's hull. Alright, what did you want to know? There's a surprise. Trust me, she's a handful. All warriors are. They're not used to dealing with things they can't punch, kick, or break. Look, I know how it is. Me? There's no denying that I'm a good-looking guy. You have it worse. Because even though you might not be as good-looking as me, you have that whole tortured past, that command presence. Women want to save you. They think they can help you. They think that everyone can be redeemed and that they're the only ones who can do it. And you don't know if it's you or the idea of you that they love. We're just talking. Like I said, I've never understood women. It's possible they don't love you at all. That they just want to help you. Help you hear yourself if you've gone deaf to your own voice. We all lose our way sometimes, and we need someone to pull us back. Don't remember. Truth is, I still don't listen to my conscience, even when it's shouting. I think there's times I'd rather be completely deaf than hear it. But all this talk doesn't matter. I'm not qualified to give advice. Besides, when I open my mouth, I'm usually lying anyway. Alright, what did you want to know?
Oh. Well, that's all the extra story we're getting out of Atten, but I think that's probably because we heard it all properly through the main game. And now, I'm going to teleport into the past before I've pissed off the Handmaiden. Welcome everybody to the 17th of May 2015. This was a long time ago.
What's going on?
I've edited my save game to make me a goody two-shoes, and I edited it so that the Handmaiden liked me, so hopefully we'll be able to see her story. Okay, nothing triggered there. Probably isn't an issue.
Yes? I am training, so that if danger should strike, my body and my reflexes will be prepared. That, and I had forgotten how long hyperspace travel can be. If I do not have something to focus my attention on, I fear my sanity will erode as well. Training is something reserved for certain caste members of the Achani, but I do not see the harm in instructing you in some basic principles. I do not understand how you and Atris fight, but I will instruct you on how Achani children are raised on warfare. All Achani fighting principles rely on foundations. If one does not understand the most basic of fighting moves, it is not possible to understand the higher tiers. It is similar to learning the alphabet of a language before being able to use words, then sentences. As a foundation, I will instruct you in our elementary movements. The body itself is the first weapon you must master. It is not something that can be described. Let us duel, you and I, and that shall teach you more than my words can. Use only your hands and feet to strike at me, nothing else, or our combat shall be over. Do not resort to using any items or any force techniques you may possess. Such things will obstruct learning.
Okay, looks like I'm going to have to go back, edit my save, and give myself 25 strength, dexterity, and constitution. I'm back. Hopefully this character is the most elite character possible at this point in time.
Very well. I shall match my movements to resist your efforts. And do not hold back, or I will hurt you. Enemies surround.
Yeah, nice try trying to hit me.
You fought well indeed. You have caught the principles of the style by watching and anticipating my movements before you go. There is something I must know. Why did you go back? Face trial.
I guess because I wanted to know about losing my force powers.
I see. It was always something I was curious about. To walk to one's own sentence willingly. It's a brave thing. You may ask. She said you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself. That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts. And she told us why you fell to the dark side.
No.
Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars, when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up.
Yeah, that's contradictory to the fact that I didn't fight in the Second War.
Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with them, because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force. I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation. Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all. Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion.
But war is terrible. Ugh. Sort yourself out, girl. So I'm losing my voice.
Perhaps it may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression. You may ask. I honor the face of my mother. It is not something usually spoken of in the company of others. Yes, that is correct. I feel that I may trust you with such things, so I shall speak of it if you wish to hear it. Though my father's blood I share with my sisters, I wear the face of my mother. My father was Usanis, an Ichani general. He left our family to serve in the Mandalorian Wars, but his choice was not because of battle. He went to join my mother, one whose movements and spirit matched his. His only desire was that they fight together, side by side, for as long as there were enemies amassed against them.
Atris is such a hypocrite. Oh no, because her mother is someone else. I'm a fool sometimes. You got to remember, this is like what, 5-6 months ago? Kind of.
I never saw her face, and she did not return from the final battle of the war. She died in the battle that shattered Malachor 5, and her body was never recovered. My father returned from the Mandalorian Wars and did not enter battle again. He entered politics, a caste where one's battles are fought through words rather than action. He was slain by Revan in the Jedi Civil War. When Revan sought to destabilize the Ichani worlds, Revan succeeded. The fact that our father chose battle is not shameful, but that is not the reason he went to war. He went to war to be with the one he loved, but not the one he had pledged himself to. He was disloyal. I am the mark of that disloyalty. It is said that such things run in the blood, and I have fought long to prove that this is not so. That is why I am different from my sisters. Yet I am pledged to them, and Atris, and I would die before betraying them. I tell you this in trust, and ask that you not speak of it to others. I only wish you to know. Because when my father returned from the Mandalorian Wars, he walked as you do now. There was something wounded inside him. He did not speak of what had happened there, and with us he was silent, changed. When I look upon you, I see in you an answer to a question I have searched for all my life, and that is why I tell you this now. I do not believe you to be the monster Atris made you out to be. I believe your choice was my father's choice, and it was just as difficult.
So basically, you've just got daddy issues and then you're pushing them on me.
Malachor 5 is the place where I lost my mother and my father. But it was their choice to fight the Mandalorians, and to die there, if Malachor was to be their grave. I know it is difficult for others to see why I am here, but it was important that you know one of the reasons, and know that it is not simply duty that I am here, but because I want to be here. I want to fight with you side by side for as long as there are enemies that threaten you. You are a leader. Your stance, your every action proves it. You honor me, exile. Together, then.
I feel like I could have got on with this woman if she'd been introduced in a... put on the ship in a more harmonious way rather than just shoveled on by my enemy.
You may ask. We attend Atris. It is the duty of all of us, from the first of my sisters to me, the last of the handmaidens. I am the last of the handmaidens. This is correct. I train so that one day that will no longer be true. That is not entirely correct. There are times I am distracted. Perhaps once having known the ways of the Jedi, you may understand what occupies my thoughts. There is much knowledge on Telos, and only one of the Jedi remain. There is so much about their ways of battle, their forms, their stances, that may be lost forever if the last of the Jedi is taken from the galaxy.
So even though she doesn't know it, she's going along with Atris's Sith logic, isn't she? She's collecting all the Sith holocrons so that they can't be lost, because she wants to be the historian, and that's rubbed off on the handmaiden.
Atris has already preserved it. What I wonder is if the Jedi teachings should not simply be stored, but brought to others. There is much in their approach to battle that is worthy to be shared. To the Ichani, battle is a means of communication. It is an art in the truest sense of the word. Stance, form, discipline are a means of expression and communication. They speak one's heart and one's devotion to their cause. Yes, the methods you use to meet your opponents speak truer than any words can express. When you risk pain or death, there is no truer sacrifice or strength.
I think there is a degree of hypocrisy in her stance on the wars, though. She dislikes me because I was obsessed with war and she's obsessed with battle. Well, let's see if we can press that issue with her.
It was to the Jedi traitor Malak. It was to the Jedi traitor Revan. When Terrace was destroyed, it showed Malak's heart through its execution and intent. It was brutal, without finesse, but showed his commitment to defeat the Jedi. Yet with Revan, there was the same commitment, but it was a subtle thing, like weaving threads in a tapestry or strokes upon a canvas. He spoke through battle and tactics in a way one could never do in words. He showed his heart at Malachor V, and finally, at the end of the Jedi Civil War. I believe he was speaking to Malak in that final battle, though few knew it. Through battle, Revan was meeting betrayal with betrayal, and showing Malak the pain he had inflicted on his master. What stronger display than death for conveying one's sense of being betrayed by one's own student? Revan's anger must have been great indeed. I would have wished to have been there for that final exchange, and seen the truth of their conflict with each other. But to say that seems an untruth, based on what I know of the Jedi. The Force can drive others, but there is still choice, is there not? If there is no choice in the Force, then our teachings and our actions are for nothing, and I refuse to believe that is true.
That's a nice counterpoint to Treya's monologue at the end of the game.
You may ask. Before entering Atris's service, yes, I carried a name, as all the children of the Ichani do. It is not important. My title and rank is of consequence, not my name. I take value in Atris's service, not in myself. We all have value in our oaths to others, and the promises we make. When we make that pledge, we are pledging ourselves to something greater. When importance is placed on the self, then by such acts the galaxy is unmade.
She might have had some good banter with Hanha, if we'd have got Hanha in the team and took them together. Anyway, no, we don't agree with your collectivist rubbish.
Nothing except that which you have interpreted. I do not know. That is a question you must ask yourself. You may ask. It is not possible to dock at the Academy without the proper codes. Yes, but I could not give them to you. You may ask. I do not think you are ready for further instruction. Each movement of our arts demands some time to use the art in battle, or to examine how it may be best used in battle. It is the way of the Ichani to be able to read their opponents, to know where an opponent is going to strike before it connects, anticipate it, and then strike against them. Ichani battles are fought several minutes in advance. In many ways, it is much like the game of Dejarik, played in the core systems. The most advanced among the Ichani are able to predict the course of battles by months, and the most revered are said to be able to predict the path of wars. Only Revan ever demonstrated such skill in war, and even as he slaughtered us, the Ichani still respected him. You are already doing it. If you do not know you are doing it, then training will make you a dangerous opponent indeed. Come, as we fight more, I will teach you. Do not think about predicting my movements. React instinctively. You are doing better. At first, I was afraid that your awareness of your own ability might ruin it, but that is not the case. You learn quickly. Perhaps it is your connection to the Force that allows such things, but I do not think so. Now you fight as an Ichani warrior fights, always in the future.
Whoa, that's awesome! Oh, if I had that during the game, then that would have made my class a million times better.
You know, I noticed a glow before, but now it's bright around you. You've come a long way since Paragus, and despite all we've been through, you seem a lot better for it. It shows. It's kind of inspiring, to be honest. Anyway, just wanted to mention it. I think the others have noticed it too. Alright, what did you want to know? Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, that. Don't tell anyone, but you wouldn't believe how many fights you can prevent by just pretending to know that stuff. I mean, it doesn't compare to wearing a lightsaber, but then again, that doesn't seem to help you much. Well, hey, thanks. But you've got the wrong guy. I'm good at shooting people, cracking wise, and pretending to know how to fight with my hands. I don't know what it...
Oh, okay, that's all there is then. Thank you for watching my LP. I think in some ways getting these stories at the end allows you to see the foreshadowing and the irony better than if you had it on the way through. Of course, the characterisation would have been better on the way through, but that's the nature of these games. It's just how they're structured, that you get different information at different times and then have a different experience. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in whatever LP I do next.